بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين، أما بعد. فهذا أيها الإخوة درسنا الرابع في شرحنا لكتاب الفرق بين النصيحة والتعيير للحافظ ابن رجب الحنبلي رحمه الله. ولا يزال الكلام موصولا بأهمية الحق والنصح في الدين ونصرة الشريعة، ولو كان ذلك ردا على العلماء، ولو كان ذلك من الأصغر للأكبر، ما دام أن الحق معه. ثم قال: وأما بيان خطأ من أخطأ من العلماء قبله إذا تأدب في الخطاب وأحسن في الرد والجواب فلا حرج عليه ولا لوم يتوجه إليه، وإن صدر منه من الاغترار بمقالته فلا حرج عليه. هذه جملة فيها عدة فوائد. الفائدة الأولى أن بيان خطأ المخطئ من أهل العلم من السابقين لا حرج فيه ولا إشكال فيه. النقطة الثانية أن ذلك مشروط بالأدب في الخطاب وحسن الرد والجواب، ولا يكون ذلك إلا بالعلم. الأدب في الخطاب يكون بالحلم، والحسن في الرد والجواب يكون بالحجة والبينة والعلم. فمن فعل ذلك فلا حرج عليه ولا لوم يتوجه إليه. لا أحد يقول له أنت أخطأت، ولا أحد يلومه لماذا فعل. يقول، وهذه الفائدة الثالثة: حتى وإن صدر منه من الاغترار بمقالته فلا حرج عليه. هذا الراد حتى لو دخله شيء من العجب أو شيء من الاغترار بهذه المقالة، بمعنى أن يكون قويا في عبارته حازما في رده، فلا يكون ذلك سبيل تحريج عليه أو تخطئة له، وإن كان الأصل عدم الاغترار، وإن كان الأصل المجانبة للعجب. لكن كما ذكر المؤلف رحمه الله في مقطع سابق من رسالته أنه إذا كان هنالك فحش في العبارة أثناء الرد وكان الرد حقا فإننا نرد الفحش ونقبل الحق، ولا يكون وجود الفحش مانعا لنا من قبول الحق. وكذلك هنا لا يكون وجود الاغترار في العبارة من هذا الراد سببا يجعلنا لا نقبل قوله أو أن نحرج عليه أو أن نغلطه لمجرد وجود هذا الاغترار. أكرر: هذا الاغترار مناف لكمال الشخصية العلمية ومناف لأدب الرد الواجب وجوده بين أهل العلم، لكن إذا وجد فإنه ليس مانعا في قبول أو من قبول الحق والهدى والصواب. قال: وقد كان بعض السلف إذا بلغه قول ينكره على قائله يقول كذب فلان، مع أن الأمر لا يتعلق بكذب وصدق، الأمر يتعلق بخطأ وصواب، لكن أحيانا قد تدفعه الحمية العلمية إلى إطلاق بعض العبارات فيقول كذب فلان. وإن كان في اللغة قد يطلق الكذب بمعنى الخطأ، قد يطلق الكذب بمعنى الخطأ، كما في حديث البراء بن عازب في السنن: كذب أبو محمد، بمعنى أخطأ. وكما في حديث كذب أبو السنابل كما سيورده المصنف بعد قليل، هذا بمعنى أخطأ. قال المصنف: ومن هذا أي قول المنكر لمن أنكر عليه كذب فلان، قال: ومن هذا قول النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم كذب أبو السنابل. أبو السنابل أحد الصحابة، له قصة سيلخصها المصنف. قال: ومن هذا قول النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم كذب أبو السنابل لما بلغه أنه أفتى أن المتوفى عنها زوجها إذا كانت حاملا لا تحل بوضع الحمل حتى يمضي عليها 4 أشهر و10. المرأة الحامل إذا طلقت ما هي عدتها؟ وضع الحمل، لو كان يوم واحد. أبو السنابل قال: لا، إذا إلا أن تكون 4 أشهر و10 أيام. هذا خطأ. فلما بلغ الرسول عليه الصلاة والسلام قول أبو السنابل قال: كذب أبو السنابل. كذب هنا بمعنى أخطأ، لكن العبارة قوية. إذن يعني وجود القوة في العبارة والاغترار بمن معه الحق بما معه من الحق، هذا وإن كان فيه أحيانا منافاة، ولا نقصد بذلك بداهة رسولنا الكريم عليه الصلاة والسلام، فكما قلنا المعنى هنا معنى لغوي، والرسول عليه الصلاة والسلام سيد من نطق بالضاد، فنضع الكلمات في محلها إن شاء الله. نعم، إذن هذا تأصيل لقضية علمية معتبرة في بيان خطأ من أخطأ من العلماء، حتى لو كان المردود عليه أكبر من الراد، حتى لو كان المنتقد أصغر من المنتقد، والله تعالى أعلم.
The Sheikh said that this is our fourth lecture in explaining the difference between advising and exposing. The Sheikh said that the talk is still continued regarding the importance of supporting the truth and the Sharia, even if that was a refutation to the scholars, even if it was a refutation from the one who is smaller in degree to one who is higher in degree. The Sheikh said here, he read from the statement of al-Hafid ibn Rajab. Ibn Rajab said, as for clarifying the mistake of those who made a mistake amongst the scholars before him, if he had proper adab, if he had proper etiquette in speaking, and he did well, he was good in terms of replying and responding, then there is no harm or no sin on him, and there is no blame that should be directed to this person who refutes the mistake of an earlier scholar. Even if he fell into some sort of self-admiration, or he admired his position, like he's refuting and admiring what he is saying, then there is no harm on him. The Sheikh here said that this sentence has a number of benefits. First of all, there is no harm and no problem in terms of refuting a mistake that was committed. Secondly, this refutation is conditional. It is conditional that one has proper adab, proper etiquette in speaking, in refuting, and this cannot be achieved, the Sheikh said, except if one was having hilm, having forbearance. And also it is conditional that it should be, this refutation or this reply and response should be good in terms of replying. So in order for it to be a good reply, the Sheikh said it has to be with knowledge. It has to be done with knowledge. So for it to have proper etiquette, then you need hilm or forbearance, not to be angry, to leave out being angry. And also it has to be good in terms of it being knowledge-based. So the one who does that, he should not be blamed, the Sheikh said. Should not be scolded, should not be told you made a mistake. Even, now al-Hafid ibn Rajab, he said, even if the person who is refuting or replying has fell into some admiration of his position or his opinion, like for instance when he replies, his reply would be strong and would be firm in the reply or in the refutation, then there is no harm in this. The Sheikh said the principle is for one not to admire what he is doing, not to fall into admiration. But if you remember, the Sheikh said, the Hafid ibn Rajab rahimahullah, he said before that if someone refuted someone else and he used words that are not proper, words that were a little bit harsh, then we accept the truth. If he said the truth, then we accept the truth, even if his expressions were bad and were not proper. Likewise here, if someone refuted and he had admiration of his refutation, if it was the truth, then we accept the truth. We do not reject the truth that he said because he admires what he is saying. The Sheikh said, I repeat again, that this type of admiration goes against the character that is, or the personality that is based on knowledge. The one with knowledge, he should not resort to admiring himself. And the people of knowledge should not be like that. But then if they do so, then we accept the truth that they said. And then the Sheikh mentioned what al-Hafid ibn Rajab said. He said that some of the pious predecessors, some Salaf, when it reaches him a statement that he rejects, when a statement reaches him, some of the pious Salaf, when a statement reaches him, he would reject it from the one who said it, or reject it to the one who said it, and he would say, so and so lied, so and so lied. And part of this is the statement of the Prophet ﷺ, Abu Sanabil lied. The kadhib here, the word, if we translate it directly or literally, it means lied. But it happened when the Prophet ﷺ heard that Abu Sanabil, this companion, radiallahu anh, he said that the woman whose pregnant and whose husband has passed away, she does not become allowable to get married, that is, except after not only after she delivers, but she has to wait 4 months and 10 days. So this is what Abu Sanabil said. He said, if there is a woman who is pregnant and her husband passes away, she will not be allowed to marry after delivery. After delivery, she has to wait 4 months and 10 days. That's the statement of Abu Sanabil, and Rasulullah ﷺ said about that this is a lie. Now, here, the word lie in the language of the Arabs, the Sheikh said, could mean also that someone made a mistake, not meaning that he deliberately forged a lie, but he made a mistake. So the Sheikh said that the scholar, his enthusiasm to refute what is wrong might lead him to make a strong expression. Like he lied, or although in the language the Sheikh said, lie could mean committed a mistake, right? So if one used a harsh, like a strong expression, then it is this is some of what the Salaf used to say. Now the Sheikh here said, the woman who is pregnant, whose husband passes away, what is her waiting period? The waiting period for her is as soon as she delivers. Even if it was only 1 day. Her husband passed away, and the next day she delivered the baby. Now her iddah, her waiting period is finished. But then Abu Sanabal taught otherwise. This companion, he taught that no, she has to wait. After that, she has to wait 4 months and 10 days, the regular period of the woman whose husband passes away. So now, here the word kadaba is a very strong word. That it could mean that he made a mistake, but it is a very strong word in expressing making a mistake. He lied. He told other than the truth. So the expression is strong. So now some of those who refute others, they might use a strong expression. Amongst the scholars, they might use some strong expression. Even they might admire what they are saying. Here, admiring what they are saying, we're not talking about the Prophet ﷺ. We're talking about those who refute one another. So you should understand in a good way, the Sheikh said. So if someone made strong expressions and he admired what he is saying, still the truth must be acceptable. Even if the one whom he is refuting is higher in degree than him, even if the one who is refuting, the one who is doing the refutation, is lower in degree than the one who is refuted, and Allah knows best.
قال: وقد بالغ الأئمة الورعون في إنكار مقالات ضعيفة لبعض العلماء وردها أبلغ الرد، كما كان الإمام أحمد ينكر على أبي ثور وغيره مقالات ضعيفة تفردوا بها ويبالغ في ردها عليهم. فلنتذكر كلام الإمام أحمد الذي ذكرناه في المجلس الماضي، وهو أنه كان يعرض عليه كلام بعض الأئمة وأدلتهم فلا يوافقهم في قولهم ولا ينكر عليهم أقوالهم. وهنا ماذا يقول؟ وكان الإمام أحمد ينكر على أبي ثور وغيره مقالات ضعيفة تفردوا بها ويبالغ في ردها عليهم. إذن هذه نقطة منهجية، أن العالم لا يسير على نمط واحد في تعامله مع كل أحد، قد يرد حينا وقد يسكت حينا، قد يرد حينا بلطف وقد يرد حينا آخر بقوة ومبالغة، هذا بحسب ما يقدره وبحسب ما يراه أنفع وبحسب ما يراه أصلح للمقام. أما أن نعامل كل المردود عليهم بطريقة واحدة خطأ، أن نسكت عنهم جميعا خطأ، أن نتعقبهم واحدا خطأ. والصواب تقدير كل مسألة على وجهها على وفق ما هو أرجح مصلحة وما هو أدفع للمفسدة. قال: هذا كله حكم الظاهر، حكم الظاهر من الأفعال، فلان يرد، فلان يتعقب، فلان يسكت، فلان يجرح الرواة، فلان ينتصر للدليل. هذه كلها أعمال ظاهرة. وهل الأعمال فقط لها حكم واحد وهو حكم الظاهر، أم لها أيضا حكم آخر وهو حكم الباطن؟ أقول كما قال ابن القيم رحمه الله: بل حكم الباطن هو الأساس في حكم الظاهر، وحكم الظاهر من غير إدراك لحكم الباطن لا وزن له ولا حقيقة له ولا وجود له ولا فائدة منه. قال: وأما في باطن الأمر، الحكم الباطن، فإن كان مقصوده، يعني مقصود هذا الراد، فإن كان مقصوده في ذلك مجرد تبيين الحق ولئلا يغتر الناس بمقالات من أخطأ في مقالاته، فلا ريب أنه مثاب على قصده ودخل بفعله هذا بهذه النية في النصح لله ورسوله وأئمة المسلمين وعامتهم. حكم الظاهر أن يكون الفعل صوابا، أن يكون الجواب علميا، أن يكون الخطاب أديبا. حكم الباطن أن يكون هنالك إخلاص، وأنك لا تريد إلا الحق، وأنك تريد حماية الدين وحراسة الشريعة من أن يتبع الناس هذا المخطئ على خطئه، فمن فعل ذلك فهذا مثاب على قصده، لأن هذا قصد نبيل ومقصد جليل وجميل. بينما من كان قصده كما يقال في بعض اللهجات: شوفوني يا ناس، انظروا إلي، أنا ابن نجدتها وأبو مجدتها، هذه صعب الترجمة وغير ذلك، فهذا أمر لا جدوى منه ولا فائدة منه، وهذا وبال على صاحبه، لأنه لم يخلص في رده لربه، لم يخلص لربه تبارك وتعالى في رده هذا، فكان عقابه جزاء وفاقا على سوء قصده. إذن هذا له حكم ظاهر وله حكم باطن. ما الفرق بين المنافق الذي يصلي ويصوم ويزكي وبين المؤمن الذي يصوم ويصلي ويزكي؟ الباطن. استويا في الظاهر واختلفا في الباطن، فدل ذلك على أن الباطن هو أصل الظاهر عموما في مسائل الشريعة كلها، وخصوصا في المسألة التي نحن فيها، وهي مسألة الرد والنقد بشروطه العلمية الظاهرة وبحقيقته المتجردة لله تبارك وتعالى الباطنة.
The Sheikh al-Hafid ibn Rajab said that the pious Imams have expanded strongly or strongly refuted or expanded in refuting strongly weak positions that some scholars hold or some scholars held. And they refuted them very strongly. Like Al-Imam Ahmad used to reject or used to shun the statements of Abi Thawr and other than him, weak statements that he said that they are alone in those issues, that they were alone in them, they did not match other scholars. And he used to expand or used to be strong in refuting those statements that they said. The Sheikh said that here, let us remember the statement of Al-Imam Ahmad that it was mentioned in the last sitting when Al-Hafid ibn Rajab alayhi rahmatullah said that Al-Imam Ahmad, it used to, the statements of some scholars, they used to be presented to him and shown to him, so he does not agree with them and he does not shun or reject them. So here, that's what he said then, that he hears that statements of scholars are brought to him, he does not agree and he does not reject. Here, he says that Imam Ahmad used to reject and used to strongly shun or refute the statements of some scholars. So here, there is a point here regarding the methodology, and that is that the scholar does not always follow a certain way in dealing with everyone. So sometimes he would speak, sometimes he would be quiet. Sometimes he might refute with some gentleness, sometimes he would refute strongly. So it will be, he will do that according to the situation. According to the situation. As for when someone would refute always in the same way, he uses one way of refutation to all, this is a mistake. For one to keep quiet completely and does not refute anything, that is a mistake. And for one to refute others about each and every issue, there is an answer, there is a reply that is also wrong. And what is correct is for us to refute in a legal way, a way that weighs benefits and harms. We achieve benefit and we push away the harm or the corruption. The Sheikh said, al-Hafidh ibn Rajab said, this is all the ruling on what appears from them. The ruling on the apparent meaning or on the apparent issue or what appears from the scholars who refute. So it is for the action to be correct, the refutation to be correct, and for it to be done with knowledge, and for it to be done with proper adab. This is the ruling of the outer or the outside or what appears from the refutation. Outwardly, it should be done with knowledge and with proper adab. It should be correct. But al-Hafidh ibn Rajab goes on to say, as for the ruling regarding what is inward, the inward of the affair, matters always, they have outward ruling and inward ruling. And the Sheikh said that Ibn al-Qayyim rahimahullah, he says that the ruling on what is inward or hidden within the heart, that is the basis for judging what appears on the body parts, whether statements or actions. So al-Hafidh ibn Rajab, he said, as for the inner matter or the inward affair, then if his objective, the objective of the one who is refuting, if his objective in refuting, that is, was only or was merely to show the truth, and so that the people will not be deceived by the statements of those who make mistakes in what they said, then there is no doubt that he is rewarded for his intention. And he will be, by his action, by his refutation, he will enter with this intention, with this good intention, in advising or being sincere towards Allah, towards His Messenger, and towards the Imams of the Muslims and their general folks. So here the Sheikh Abu al-Harith Hafidhullah, he said that now if inwardly what you meant by you refuting, what is meant by refutation is for you to be sincere. You want nothing but to show the truth, to protect and guard the religion and the Sharia of Allah, then this person is rewarded for his objective. But then if it was, the objective was, or the intent was, as it is being said on certain dialects, he said, they say, if his intention by refuting is to say, look at me, here I am, look at me, I am the one, I am the man for it, I am the man for this refutation, I am the man for making these statements. If that is the intention, then this will be, this will have an evil result for the one who does that. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will reward him exactly according to his evil intention. The Sheikh then said, what is the difference between the believer and the hypocrite? Both the believers and the hypocrites, they would pray, they would fast, they do things, they do the acts of obedience, both of them. Outwardly, what you see appearing on their body parts, you see the same actions. But what differentiates between them? What is the difference between a believer and a hypocrite? It's the inward actions, the inward intention, their objectives behind that. So, the refutation, when doing refutations or replies, you have to adhere or stick to the foundations of refutation, the foundations that are the apparent ones, and also you have to stick to the foundations which are inward or inner. And by the inner, here, as you understood, what is meant is intent and objective. It has to be done sincerely for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jalla.
قال وسواء كان الذي بين الخطأ صغيرا أو كبيرا فله أسوة بمن رد من العلماء مقالات ابن عباس التي يشذ بها وأنكرت عليه من العلماء. لا فرق طالما أن الحق أحق بالاتباع، لا فرق بين أن يكون المبين للخطأ صغيرا أم كبيرا، مشهورا أم مغمورا، عالما كبيرا أو عالما أكبر من الراسخين في العلم أو طالبا للعلم. فالحجة هي المرجح، والبينة هي التي تظهر الصواب وتكشف الخطأ. فهذا الراد الذي لا فرق بين أن يكون صغيرا أو كبيرا ما دام الحق معه، له أسوة في هذا الرد بمن رد على العلماء مقالات معروفة لابن عباس أنكرت عليه من قبل بعض أهل العلم وهي معروفة ومحدودة. وهؤلاء العلماء الرادون على ابن عباس لا شك ولا ريب أنهم دونه بيقين، وأن مرتبتهم أقل منه على وجه القطع، ومع ذلك جعل أهل العلم رد هؤلاء على ابن عباس أنهم هم المصيبون، وأن ابن عباس ليس هو المصيب وأنه المخطئ، ونحن نترضى عنه وندعو الله أن يحشرنا معه، وهو الذي قال فيه الرسول عليه الصلاة والسلام اللهم فقهه في الدين وعلمه التأويل، ومع ذلك يخطئ. فكل من دونه من باب أولى أن يخطئ، ومهما وصفه الواصفون بأنه إمام أو أنه راسخ في العلم أو أنه قضى سلخ من العمر 50 أو 70 أو أقل أو أكثر، هذا كله له قدره وله مقامه، ولا نظلمه ولا نخذله ولا نحقره، ولكن الحق أكبر. ليست هذه العلامات وحدها سببا يجعل كلامه حقا، وأن موافقه هو الموافق للحق وأن مخالفه هو المخالف للحق. اسمعوا ماذا يقول شيخ الإسلام ابن تيمية رحمه الله في المجلد الثالث صفحة 346 من مجموع الفتاوى. يقول فمن جعل شخصا من الأشخاص غير رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم من أحبه ووافقه كان من أهل السنة والجماعة، ومن خالفه كان من أهل البدع والفرقة، فإن كما يوجد ذلك في الطوائف من أتباع أئمة الكلام في الدين وغير ذلك، كان من أهل البدع والضلال والتفرق. لأنه لا يمكن أن يكون أحد من الناس مهما بلغت مرتبته أن المحب له والموافق له كيفما كان الأمر من أهل السنة، وأن المخالف له كيفما كان الأمر هو مخالف للسنة. هذا لا يعرف في تاريخ الإسلام إلا لرسول الله عليه الصلاة والسلام. فمهما نفخ النافخون، ومهما تكلم المتكلمون، ومهما رد الرادون، ومهما فتحت الصفحات وفتحت الأبواب وكان هنالك المجال رحبا لأن يتكلم هؤلاء المتكلمون، فكلامهم كأنما هو نحت في الصخر لا فائدة منه ولا حق عليه، لأنه يخالف أبجديات المنهج السلفي الذي يعظم الحق بغض النظر عن قائله. لذلك يقرر شيخ الإسلام تيمية رحمه الله في مواضع من كتبه أن الحق يقبل من أي قائل يقوله. لم يضع معايير إلا أن يكون حقا، لم يضع موازين إلا أن يكون صوابا، لم يضع شروطا إلا أن يكون موافقا للحجة والبينة والدليل. فأي اشتراك بغير هذا الحق ونوره وبرهانه هذا حرف في البحر، حرف في البحر لا يفيد فليغير من دخل هذا المسلك الرديء، فليغير طريقته وليأب وليتب، وإلا كان عليه وزر من أخذ بقوله إلى أن يتوب، وإلا إلى قيام الساعة، ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله.
Al-Hafidh ibn Rajab goes on to say, and it doesn't matter, he says, that the one who, if the one who clarified the mistake, whether he was small or big, then he has an example, he has a good example in those scholars before him who refuted the positions or the statements of Ibn Abbas in which are odd positions or odd statements, and the scholars have refuted. The Sheikh said that there is no difference as long as the truth is or has more right to be followed. Then it doesn't matter whether the one who is refuting was big or small, whether he was famous or not famous, because the proof and evidence is what gives weight to what he says, and the proof and evidence is what makes what is correct manifest, or makes the correct thing emerge. It's the proof and evidence. So the one who refutes, he has an example in the scholars who passed before him, who refuted, who made statements refuting some positions that Abdullah ibn Abbas radiallahu anhuma took. And those positions that Ibn Abbas took that are refuted, they are numbered and they are limited. The Sheikh went on to say, Sheikh Ali, that there is no doubt that those who refuted Ibn Abbas, they were less than him. Those scholars who refuted him, they were less than him in position and status. And there is no doubt also that although it is said that Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhuma made some mistakes on those specific issues, yet we still ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to gather us together with him radiallahu anhu. And he is the one whom Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam made dua for him, saying, "O Allah, make him knowledgeable in the religion and teach him the interpretation and teach him the explanation." So likewise, those who are less in status and degree than Ibn Abbas, if it is said that the likes of Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu could make mistakes and can be refuted, then those who are less than Ibn Abbas, there is no doubt that they can be refuted also, regardless of whatever degree or status they reach, regardless of how big they are, regardless of how much praise or how much it is said that this person spent 50 years in the knowledge or whatever. We can refute, but at the same time, we can refute the mistake. At the same time, we don't oppress this scholar and we do not despise this scholar, but then we say the truth is bigger than anyone. The truth is more bigger and dear than anyone. Then the Sheikh said, listen to the statement of Ibn Taymiyyah when he said, Sheikh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah said, no, this is after the Sheikh said that the fact that someone is 50 years in knowledge, he is a big, he is a big man in knowledge, this is not from the signs that will just make us follow him regardless. Even if he made a mistake, he can be refuted. Then he said, look at what Sheikh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah said, alayhi rahmatullah. This is in volume number 3, صفحة 640. It's volume 3 and the page 345. 345. Sheikh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah said this in volume 3, page 345. He said, the one who makes or appoints a specific person of the individuals other than Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, appoints one other than the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, saying that the one who loves him, the one who agrees with him, he will be from Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah, and the one who opposes him, he will be from the people of bid'ah and division, like it is found in some of the groups who follow the imams of philosophy or the leaders of philosophy in the religion, and other than that, he will be from the people of innovation, the people of deviation, and the people of division. So the statement here of Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah, the one who appoints a person and other than Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and says the one who loves him and agrees with him, he will be from Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah. The one who opposes him, he will be from the people of innovation and division. Then he will be from the people, the one who does that, he will be from the people of innovation, the people of bid'ah, the people of deviance, misguidance, and the people of division. So the Sheikh Ali Habibullah, he said, those who say like this, whoever agrees with so and so, then he agrees with the Sunnah. The one who opposes so and so, then he is opposing the Sunnah. That is not correct. That is not the right methodology. Regardless of how much people praise this individual, regardless of how much people talk about this individual, it doesn't matter. Whatever they say has no value and has no benefit in it. Why? Because claiming this, that there is a certain individual that other than Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, if you agree with him, you agree with the Sunnah. You disagree with him, you disagree with the Sunnah. This methodology goes against the ABCs of the methodology of the Salaf. And you find Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah makes the statements, and this is, you find in his statements, you find that he repeats that the truth must be accepted from anyone who says it. The truth must be accepted from anyone who says that. So the truth is accepted unrestrictedly, without any reservation. If it is the truth, then it is to be accepted from anyone who speaks it. Other than that, then it is something that is not beneficial. So those who are upon this methodology of setting up someone and saying, you agree with him, you agree with the Sunnah, you disagree with him, you disagree with the Sunnah, those who are doing this, then there is no benefit in what they are doing. The Sheikh said it resembles someone who is plowing, but plowing in the sea, right? Not in the land. He's plowing, but in the sea, in the water, right? So is there any benefit to that? There is no benefit. So the one who is upon this, then let him change this evil way that he is treading. Let him repent from this, or else he will be sinful, and also anyone who takes his position or follows him in this misguidance, he will also be sinful. But then the one who is leading the people, he will have his sins and the sin of those who are following him in his position.
بعد أن ذكر ابن عباس ورد من رد عليه من أهل العلم، ذكر أيضا ردود أهل العلم على سعيد بن المسيب وعلى الحسن البصري وعلى عطاء بن أبي رباح وعلى طاووس بن كيسان اليماني، ثم ذكر بعض المسائل التي لا تفيدنا أو لا يفيدنا الوقوف عليها كثيرا في أن نحررها صوابا أو خطأ، وإنما المقصود الإشارة إلى رد العلماء على من هم أكبر منهم، وأن المقصود من الرد الإخلاص لله ونصرة الدين بغض النظر عمن كان الراد صغيرا أو كبيرا. قال: وعلى غير هؤلاء ممن أجمع المسلمون على هدايتهم ودرايتهم ومحبتهم والثناء عليهم. بالرغم من أن هنالك كلمة إجماع على هؤلاء العلماء قد رد عليهم، فكيف بمن لا إجماع عليه؟ من باب أولى أن يرد عليه إذا خالف السنة وإذا خالف الصواب، حتى لو كان كبيرا، حتى لو كان راسخا، رسوخه له احترامه، كبره له احترامه، علمه له احترامه، لكن الاحترام للحق أكبر من هذا كله. فإذا جاء الحق من أي إنسان صغيرا كان أم كبيرا هو المقدم. هذا هو منهج السلف، وهذه طريقة السلف، وهذه نصوص العلماء بين أيدينا ظاهرة، لا يستطيع أحد أن يماري فيها أو أن يكابر في قبولها أو أن يتأولها على غير تأويلها، إلا إذا كان على طريقة الباطنية، وهذا ليس منا وليس من دربنا ولا من سبيلنا. قال: ولم يعد أحد منهم مخالفته في هذه المسائل ونحوها طعنا في هؤلاء الأئمة ولا عيبا له. مجرد المخالفة لعالم فيما أخطأ فيه وفيما خالف الحق فيه لا يجوز أن تعد أنها طعن في هؤلاء الأئمة أو أنها عيب له. كيف تكون طعنا والرد قائم على الاحترام؟ كيف تكون طعنا والرد مبني على العلم؟ كيف تكون عيبا وكل بني آدم خطاء؟ هل يعاب الإنسان بما جبل عليه مما يخطئ فيه؟ كل بني آدم خطاء. بل العيب أن يصر على الخطأ، العيب أن يكره أن يرد عليه أحد، العيب أن يكابر في هذا الحق وقد ظهرت أنواره وقد انكشفت أدلته. هذا هو العيب. نعم.
The Sheikh said after al-Hafid ibn Rajab mentioned Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhuma and the refutations that the scholars made towards his refutation, or how they towards his statements, or how they refuted him, the Hafid ibn Rajab then mentioned the refutation of the people of knowledge to other scholars like Sa'id ibn al-Musayyib, like al-Hasan, and like Ata, and like Tawus. Those scholars, they were refuted by people of knowledge. And then he mentioned actually the issues or the positions that they took that were refuted. And those positions here, it is not our concern to go through these and to verify who's right and who's wrong in these issues. But what is meant here, the objective now, is that the scholars, they refuted those who are considered to be higher in degree or bigger than them. And whether the one who is refuting was small or big, it does not matter as long he is speaking the truth. Al-Hafid ibn Rajab alayhi rahmatullah, he said that the scholars, they refuted other than those from the scholars whom the Muslims unanimously agreed upon their guidance, that they are guided, and upon their knowledge, and upon their love and praising them. So the scholars have refuted these noteworthy scholars and other scholars whom the Muslims agree. All the Muslims agree that they are guided, that they have knowledge, that they love them, and that they praise them. So the Sheikh said, if those whom the Muslims unanimously agree that they are guided, they are knowledgeable, that they love them, still they can be refuted. What about those whom the Ummah, the Muslims, did not unanimously agree upon that? Can they not be refuted? Surely they can be refuted. Surely they can be refuted. So basically, the knowledge or the fact that a scholar is firmly grounded in knowledge, this necessitates and warrants that we should respect him. All the respect. But then we definitely do respect the truth more than anyone else. So if the truth came from anyone, then it must be accepted. And this is the methodology of the pious predecessors. And here we are seeing here the texts, the direct statements of the Salaf, of the pious predecessors. They are crystal clear. They cannot be twisted or interpreted in another way, except if someone was following the Batini way, which, basically that's none of us should be like that. The Batini way is those who are claiming that the words in the book and the Sunnah, they have outer meaning and an inner meaning, secret meaning that they know only, and they give it a different they give it a different meaning. So those are direct and explicit statements of the Salaf. They cannot be interpreted otherwise. That if someone speaks the truth, regardless who he is, the truth must be accepted from him. Al-Hafidh ibn Rajab, he goes on to say, none of them considered those who oppose him, the scholars, none of them considered those who oppose them or him in those issues and their likes, none of them considered this to be attack or defamation or bringing down of those great imams, and it's not basically mentioning them that they are deficient. So although they were refuted, those scholars were refuted, no one thought that this is like slandering those scholars, slander on those scholars, or claiming that they are deficient. So Sheikh Ali Hafidullah said regarding this, that because one is merely disagreeing with a scholar, this should not be considered to be an attack, a slander, or a defamation, or a deficiency mentioned about them. How is it so when the refutation should be based upon respect and should be based upon knowledge? How is it considered to be deficiency when all of the children of Adam, all of them err and make mistakes? Rather, the deficiency, the one who is truly deficient, is the one who insists upon the error or the mistake and hates to be refuted, or hates for his mistake to be refuted by anyone. This is the deficiency. And how is it, he still went on to say that the one who is deficient is the one who rejects the truth when the light of the truth has been shining and are clearly showing. So the one who refutes or rejects the truth is the one who is deemed to be deficient.